Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, A Magical Life with Ayla. I'm Ayla Hillel, and today we're going to talk about a deeper vibration. So let's go. So on my channel, we talk about our energy, our vibration and our energy, and how that relates to the creation of our life. As a human, we generally have a lot of negative vibration to overcome before the positive vibration will start to take center stage. Now, what happens a lot of times with the negative vibration is that those negative vibrations are placed in us at a very, very early age. So in childhood, even if you have the greatest parents in the world, there might be things, because as children, we just interpret things however we interpret them. We don't have a lot of reference points for things. And so a parent will give you a critique, a very loving critique, and that gets planted in our subconscious mind, and it stays there. And it stays there as a negative, not as a positive, sometimes. Now, other times, we don't have good parents, and we get lots of criticism, and what is supposed to be loving critique, which finds its way into our subconscious, like the other situation, as not loving critique. Then we have friends. Our friends, in grade school and middle school and high school mean well, but lots of times we take away from those friendships, we take away negative vibration. Society and the media and whatever beauty norms are at the time or standards for whatever we're trying to do can all translate into our subconscious as negatives. So I like to think of, the negative subconscious as part of it was put there by just being in the third dimension, and part of it we kind of created ourselves. So then you move forward into your life and you start watching these crazy videos on YouTube about this woman who is talking about changing your vibration. Low vibration is not very productive. It is going to help you create negative and negativity in your life. High vibration is very productive and will help you to create more and more positive stuff, more abundance, more love, more health. These are the things you want in your life. But what do I mean by high vibration and low vibration? Those are nothing more than descriptions for positivity and negativity. Okay, does that make sense? So if you're in a positive frame of mind, now go back and watch the toxic positivity video, because that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about this go positive or bust type of attitude. Lots of times there's a way to stay positive or somewhat positive when life gets really difficult, but we don't want to go into denial about our positive and our negatives. When bad things happen to us in life, sometimes we just have to sit with it. I like to tell people that I have magical formulas for everything except one thing. I don't know how to help you with your grief. When a friend dies or a loved one dies or a pet dies, that's difficult. So I don't really know what to do about that. Magically, I don't know what to do about that. If you want to create love in your life, I don't recommend love spells. What I help people do is what I call a clearing spell. So as you are looking for someone out there in the world to love, there is someone, we don't know who it is. He doesn't have a name or a face. She doesn't have a name or a face yet. And instead of saying, oh, I'm going to set this spell up so that Billy next door will fall in love with me. No, 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 no. That's a violation of free will. But what we do is in a love spell, we can clear the path for whoever is looking for you to be able to see you, and for you to be able to see that person. So what we do is we create a vibration. We create a high vibration that gives the other person free will to find you, to fall in love with you, because they're already looking for you anyway. And you're already looking for them. So we're not going to name a person. We're not going to face this person. We're going to clear a path. And this is a high vibrational type of way of looking at love spells. Health and healing, that's easy. I know how to create spells. I know how to help you create energy around your health and healing. Wealth, that's also easy. There's magic formulas for creating wealth in our lives, and it's a lifelong pursuit. Magic and the pursuit of money, health, and love, which are the primary things that keep our life running, they are lifelong pursuits. So you're going to do magic in your lifetime for these things. This is all high vibrational. If you are thinking about how wealthy you are, and maybe you're not the wealthiest, maybe you're living from paycheck to paycheck, but in your heart you recognize that you are getting your bills paid. You are supporting your life. What a noble endeavor. What a high vibrational endeavor to support your life. But you'd like to have more money. Money is not the root of all evil. An evil heart is the root of all evil. So you can be a wonderful, amazing, incredible person, and when you start generating money, when you start creating and manifesting money in your life, you're going to be even more wonderful and generous, because now you have the ability to do that. If you are evil and dark and you use your money to hurt people, as you generate and manifest more money into your life, you're going to be more evil and dark, and you're going to want to hurt people even more. Money is not evil. Money does not determine a person's personality. You determine your personality. You determine in your heart what you want to do with your health and with your money and with your relationships, with your love. And when I say love and relationships, I am not just talking about romance. I am talking about all kinds of relationships. So if you're constantly in gratitude about the things you do have, yes, you want more. Yes, you want to create more wealth. Maybe you do need a romantic relationship. Maybe you do need to overcome a health issue. But you are constantly focusing on what is right in your life and what is high vibrational in your life. You're going to get more of that. Law of attraction works regardless of how you work it. If you are constantly talking about your health issues and how sick you are and how low income you are and how you can't go do this because you don't have enough money, you can't do that because you don't have enough money. If you're constantly stirring up drama in your family and creating issues that frankly are just unnecessary, you're going to get more of that. Go back and look at my video on reverse magical energy. There's no such thing as reverse magical energy, and I say that in the video. But I created that phrase to kind of draw a differentiation between when we are creating high vibrationally and when we are creating low vibrationally. So I don't want any of you to think that, all we have to do is have a happy thought. I have a happy thought and my whole life will change. That is the beginning. Gratitude is the beginning of your magical life, of your manifesting, of your creating, of the life of your dreams, is to recognize that where you are sitting right now, there's a lot to be grateful for. There's a lot to be grateful for. And the more you tune in on the things in your life that are right, that you are grateful for, that you don't have to worry about, the things that are right in your life, that shoots your vibration up higher and it gives you more power. It gives you power. Focus on your power in that place of gratitude. When you are talking about, when you're thinking about being sick all the time, when you're talking about it all the time, when you're sitting around being sick all the time, you get more of that. You get more of that powerless, low vibrational energy. That's what I mean by high and low. So you want to be in a high place vibrationally. And you have complete control over that. You have control over your vibration and your power by starting with what you think. What you think, what you say, and what you do. That's where your power is at as a human being, as a magical being. That is where your power is at, is what you think, what you say, and what you do that creates these incredible vibrations. Okay, so that's the foundation. Now in this video, I want to go a little deeper, okay? There is something that me and William called old scripts. Remember all of that crap from childhood? Remember all of that crap from organized religion? Remember all that crap from the media telling you how you have to be, what size you have to be, what you have to look like? If you don't go have this plastic surgery and you don't look like this, well, that's okay, honey. You have other great things about you. Yeah, this is a very low these old scripts are very low vibrational. They create self-esteem issues. They create all kinds of problems in how we feel about ourselves. Those old scripts, where do those old scripts live? Those old scripts live in our subconscious. Now, your subconscious doesn't judge. Our conscious mind creates preferences for us. It's like, well, you like chocolate ice cream better than you like vanilla ice cream. You like, this soda pop better than that soda pop. It's like you prefer this person over this person. Your conscious mind helps you create preferences. Your subconscious mind simply records. That's all it does. But those recordings in your subconscious mind dictate behavior. So if you are a person who is great at starting projects, but you never seem to finish them, there's something going on in those old scripts about starting something but not finishing. Or to the opposite of that, what if you don't start very many things, but when you do start something, you're great at finishing it? Or you just can't seem to get started on something, let alone finish it. You just can't seem to get started on it. You have these great ideas, but you can't seem to get started on it. That's a function of the subconscious. Something happened way back in the day that dictated that behavior. There's a lot of behaviors that you can look at. This is what magical people call shadow work, is where we go into those behaviors. It's like, I do this thing. Why do I do that thing? Because that thing kind of undoes me. If you're starting projects but never finishing them, wow, you're probably brilliant. But because you don't finish anything you ever start, nobody knows that you're brilliant. So it's like you can look at a certain behavior and be like, why do I do that? that's not good for me that I do that. Um, I have been a sugar addict all my life, and been in and out of places of control like most addicts. And I can actually look back in my childhood, in my young adulthood, where I medicated with sugar. I medicated. I made myself feel better about whatever was happening in my reality by overeating sugar. And I tell people a lot of times, I wish I had the same relationship with sugar that I have with alcohol. I'm getting there. I'm getting better. This year has been a lot better. I'll have a drink with a friend, and that's it. I don't think about it again for a month or whenever. I go and have another drink with a friend. It's not something that I'm calculating all the time. But during certain phases in my life, I have calculated where I could get some sugar, where I would be alone, because I want to be alone in that activity. Where am I going to be? How am I going to be alone so I can sneak off and get some sugar? And I finally had to really start looking at that behavior, because that behavior is not helping me at all. And first of all, I don't want to have addictions in my life. It's like anything that's ruling me, I don't want to have that. I want to be in control of me. So I really had to look at that, and it quite literally came out of childhood. There was a lot of food trauma, what I call food trauma. And if I could sneak away and eat some sugar, it made me feel better. And I carried that into my adulthood with me. So that's a very low vibrational energy. But now that I know that, I can start working on that. I can start eliminating that and dissolving that out of my life. That's called shadow work. When you look at a behavior, when you look at something that exists within you, and you decide you don't want that in your life anymore, you don't want that setting your vibration for you, then you can begin to work on that. And a lot of working on that, doing the shadow work, is conscious work. It's like consciously making new decisions, constantly making new efforts, constantly working with yourself consciously to be like, no, we're not going to make that choice today. We're going to make this choice because this choice is better for us. So that's one way that we can begin to rewrite the old scripts and get those old negative scripts out of us so they're not dictating. They're running all the time. Those old scripts are running all the time. And they may be undoing your conscious vibrational control. So you're doing everything right vibrationally. You're doing everything right. You're holding your positivity. You're in your gratitude. You're hanging out with high-vibing people, and you're doing high-vibing activities. And you're still struggling with manifesting your reality. And it could be that the old scripts are playing all the time, all the time, all the time. So do the shadow work. Look at yourself and identify what it is about yourself you want to change. Now, before I move on to the next, there's only two that I have for this video of ways to a deeper vibration for yourself. There's only two of them. Before I move on to the second one, what I want to say about doing shadow work is a personal endeavor. Okay? Nobody outside of you is allowed to say you should change that about yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody is allowed to judge you and tell you what you need to change about yourself. Shadow work is a personal endeavor where you do extremely deep and profound analysis of yourself and the things that you want to change about you. Nobody else gets to have an opinion. And anytime you have a person in your life that starts sentences with, you know what your problem is, get away from that person. Ew. Get away from that person. Nobody has a right to tell you what your problem is. As a magical being, as a human being who wants to invest in their future by changing their vibration, this is your moment. Shadow work is your moment. It belongs to you. That journey, nobody else can analyze you. Nobody else can tell you what your problem is or what you need to change. That is a disgusting idea that somebody on the outside would dictate to you how you need to change. And you're only changing for one reason, and that's to raise your vibration, because in that raised vibration is where your power is at. Okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing, when we're talking about a deeper vibration, we're still talking about the subconscious, because we have the conscious mind and then we have the subconscious mind. And these two things in partnership create your magical power. Okay? They create the think, say, and do. Have you ever thought to yourself, here's what I want to change about myself. Oh, I can't wait to make that change. That's going to be such a glorious change. And your words were in alignment with that, but there was a habit. There was something that you were doing that wasn't in alignment with what you were saying and what you were thinking. There was that thing that you're doing that's kind of undoing these other two. So when we talk about deeper vibrational practice, that's what we're doing. We're getting think, say, and do all on the same page. Okay? So the next idea that I have for you to raise your vibration is something called self-hypnosis. Now, I've talked about this in earlier videos. This is not a surprise. I mean, you already know this. There are little handheld recording devices you can get for like $30 from Amazon. And you can record a sentence, and loop it. And then lay down to take a nap, put your earbuds in, and fall asleep listening to this loop. That goes straight into your subconscious. Okay? And if you can get yourself into a theta state, which is that place not quite awake and not quite asleep, and you can stay in that theta state while you're listening to your new script on your recording device, that's even more powerful. That's the most powerful. Okay? Self-hypnosis is different than going to a regular hypnotist. And the reason being is because your subconscious will never hear a more powerful voice than your own. You talking to you, addressing your subconscious, addressing your mind, addressing the cellular community that is you. Your voice talking is the most powerful. You can hear your voice. You can hear what you have to say and the suggestions that you are making for the community that is you. That is a very powerful place. And it's soothing and it's comfortable. I love to lay down with my little recording device and just fall asleep. And all of that deep, profound change is happening while I'm sleeping, while I'm meditating, while I'm resting. What a wonderful way to change the things we want to change. You can't erase things that live in your subconscious. You can't erase the scripts. Once an idea is put in there, it's in there. But what you can do is you can superimpose over the top of it. You can add the new script until the old script just sort of dissolves. And it's not dictating behavior anymore, but the new script is dictating behavior. Now, the thing that we need to keep in mind when using subconscious suggestions is that it always has to be worded in the positive. The subconscious does not hear negatives. So if I say, I don't eat sugar anymore, what the subconscious hears is, I eat sugar anymore. That's what I do. I've always done that. That's what I do, of course, yes. But if you say, I love healthy food, I love protein and vegetables, and you keep listening to that script over and over and over again, pretty soon the desire for sugar is going to fade away. The desire for processed foods is going to fade away. If you talk in your script about how your lungs are healthy and clear and you breathe with no issues, see, I said it, you breathe clearly, eventually the desire to smoke is going to go away because the subconscious desire to have healthy lungs is going to take its place. Does that make sense? So we always want to be wording things in positive forward language. Positive forward language. And not using the negatives. Don't, haven't, will not. And this is how we start to do away with the old scripts. So see, there's a lot here. I mean, when we talk about the law of attraction and how all you have to do is have this happy thought, all you have to do is have a positive thought, all you have to do is be in gratitude. That is the beginning, and those things reside in your conscious mind. You are in control of those. You may not necessarily be in control or immediate control of your subconscious like you are of your conscious mind. So I believe that we are so powerful as human beings. We don't even know how powerful we are. I believe that we are so powerful as human beings that even with the negative scripts playing in our mind, in our subconscious mind, if we are predominantly focusing on what is good in our life, what we are grateful for, what we are positive about, we can still change our reality. We can still create our reality. We can change our bodies. We can change our minds, even just in that very powerful place of the conscious mind. But if you go deeper and you start addressing the things that are in the subconscious mind, any bad health habits like smoking and eating sugar, those are things, those are activities that we are partaking in that originate out of the subconscious mind. So if you go into the subconscious mind to do that deeper work, to do that more profound work, and you've got this all going, and then what you're thinking in your subconscious mind, what you're saying with your words, and then what you're doing in your reality, all of that is vibrational resonance with each other. All of that is in agreement. The problem comes in our magical manifesting, in the creation of our reality. The problem comes when there's a contradiction, when my thoughts don't line up with my actions and my words, or my actions don't line up with my thoughts and my words. Everything needs to line up. Everything. And now, it doesn't have to line up right this minute. Let me be really clear about that. Magic is a lifestyle. It is a process. It is something that we are constantly working on. Through our magic, through our manifesting abilities, we become better people. we become better. We straighten out the vibration that is us. And that gives the rest of the world permission to become healed as well. So when you think about, I don't know how to heal the world, heal yourself. Heal yourself. If each person would heal themselves, then we would heal the world. So you don't have to look at this great, big, huge planet and be overwhelmed. Look at the universe that is you. Everything that is the universe is contained within you. So if you work on it, work on it, work on it. I mean, it took me 9 months to become predominantly positive. You're never going to be 100% positive. If you are, you're in that toxic positivity place, because let's face it, shit happens on the third dimension, and sometimes it's not pleasant, and you have to pause your vibration and deal with that crap. You know, when somebody crosses back over to the other side, you have to stop and feel that. You have to stop and grieve. And I've heard people go, oh, well, I know God had something better for them. That's why he took them. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't blame God for the fact that your loved one crossed back over to the other side. Let it just be what it is, and sit with it and feel it. And when you feel better in a month or 3 months or a year, because there's no time limit on grieving, when you feel better, get back to your positivity, get back to the creation of this high vibration. But not while you're grieving. It's so illogical and unbalanced to try to think of reasons why this person died. I mean, we may know why they died. It doesn't change how we feel about it. It doesn't change the mourning process and the grieving process. You still have to go through that. So I realized that it took me the better part of a year to get into I thought I was this great positive force for good. Oh man, was I wrong. I was positive, but a little tiny bit. And it took me a year of pivoting. Now, pivoting is a good tool. Pivoting is a tool that the Abrahams talk about. And pivoting is just where you interrupt a thought. You start to have a negative thought. And this is, when I say negative thought, I mean just general, everyday types of thoughts. You start to have a negative thought and you interrupt that thought. You put something in its place. Somebody cuts you off in traffic and you start to shake your fist and yell at them, and you stop. You just stop. Have a nice day. Okay. Yeah, that makes me mad. It does. For a moment. Then I get over it and move on. I move on back into my positivity. So in this video, we talked about 2 solutions for raising your vibration. 1 being shadow work. 2 being self-hypnosis. It's worth it. You know, magic is not something, I'm a witch and I practice magical paganism, what I call magical paganism. This is for everybody. This is not just for pagany, witchy, magical people. This idea of manifesting our reality is for everybody. And you don't have to, I kind of take the spiritual religious terms out of it a little bit so that the witches get it, but the non-witches get it too. This is for everybody. You can do shadow work regardless of what path you're on. This is deep self-introspection, identifying those things we don't like about ourselves or that are low vibrational, and finding ways to work through that till we elevate the vibration of that thing. Self-hypnosis, that's so simple. You just get into your subconscious mind and rewrite the scripts, superimpose the scripts. So it doesn't have to be just for magical people. I mean, I would encourage everybody on the planet to look at an evolutionary path. It can be a generic evolutionary path with no labels at all, where you are evolving and growing and working through your stuff and learning to use your mind to manifest your reality. And if you think that this is anti-God, go back to the verse in Genesis where it talks about how God created man in his own image. God is energy. We are a bundle of energy. That's all we are. We're not solid. We're not solid mass. We are a bundle of energy. Physical, denser energy, spiritual, thinner energy. Where do you think that energy came from? God creates and created us to create. That's what we're doing here. We're creating. And if you don't agree with that, think about your life. What have you created in your life? Did you start a business? You created that. Did you have a baby? Did you start a family? You created that. Do you have relationships with people that you love? You created that. You wanted to buy a house. You set out to bring all of the energy present in that moment to buy a house. And you bought a house. You created that. So we're doing it. And I'm pretty sure that that's what we were created to do, is to create our reality. I would encourage everybody, whether you are a magical pagan or an atheist or some other religion, look at creating your reality. Look at this place of gratitude and positivity. You can combine, there's nothing here that violates what you believe. You can combine this with what you believe. Now, I have a little bit of an issue with limiting beliefs. That's a video for another time, and I'll just leave you with that and let you think about that. But what I want to say is have a really awesome day, and I love you so much. And we'll see you on the next video. Blessed be.